Hey kid, you ever heard of PokeRogue? Come here, let me show you something. Well, if you were a little late to the game like me, shout out to puberty, then you may not have played or even heard of PokeRogue. PokeRogue is exactly what it sounds like. It's a Pokemon roguelike that puts you through a gauntlet of wild Pokemon encounters, trainer battles, and everything in between.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
At the end of each battle, you get a reward to help you continue on and potentially power up your Pokemon. Do this 200 times and you win. Unless you're doing endless, but nah, fuck that. Anyway, I managed to finally beat this game the good old-fashioned way after 20 attempts.
Yes!
That means we're like 1 in 19, baby, let's go! After beating the game as is with no restrictions, I noticed a lot of people doing different challenge runs, like monotype runs and generation specific runs, so I decided to do a little challenge of my own. What if I could only use Pokemon that Ash Ketchum has caught in the mainstream anime? So, I googled a comprehensive list of Pokemon that Ash had caught up to the point where he won the Pokemon League in the Galar region, threw those Pokemon names into a little corporate spreadsheet, and we were on our way. For the starter Pokemon, I was lucky enough to have previously caught a Froakie with Battle Bond, which basically means we have a guaranteed Mega Evolution every time Greninja registers a kill. So we added him to the party. And this is an Ash Ketchum challenge, so we had to add Pikachu. I mean, come on. This one in particular had Modest Nature, which was pretty sick. And so we were left with 4 remaining points to spend on our last Mon. Honestly, I got flustered with too many options, so I just picked Starly and moved on. Turns out it didn't matter because we caught another Starly on round 2. Then we caught a Pidgey on round 15. Then we caught a Fletchling on round 18. And you know, you may be thinking, man, Fred, that's a lot of flying type Pokemon. And to that I'd say, maybe we should change this from the Ash Ketchum challenge to the Faulkner challenge. Nah, but it was okay because we managed to pick up a Mega Bracelet on round 29, which was quite convenient since we had caught that Pidgey earlier. And surely we would pick up a Mega Stone for it when it eventually evolved into a Pidgeot, right? I mean, surely over the next 200 levels we'll find a Mega. Yeah, so while we were waiting for that Mega Stone to never show up, we picked up a Grottle and eventually evolved it into a Torterra. And this really just acted as a living band-aid for our crippling weakness to electric type Pokemon. And at this point, I should probably mention that in the latest patch, as of like late June, early July, the PokeRogue devs added in villain teams to the game. This means that at certain points of the run, you can run into any of Team Rocket, Team Magma, Team Aqua, Plasma, you get the idea. But you'll be stuck with whoever you encounter first. So keep encountering the same team during a run. And in this run, we had Team Aqua, which was totally frickin' poggers, dude! Because we had a Pikachu and a Torterra to deal with Team Aqua's abundance of water-type Pokemon. On Wave 80, we encountered one of the best Pokemon in PokeRogue, Tinkaton. This is also a good time to explain that every 10 levels, we either encounter a boss Pokemon or a gym trainer battle. The boss Pokemon are usually just Pokemon with multiple health bars, and hold like 50 berries and maintain a strong HGH addiction. The Tinkaton here happens to be one of the best Pokemon in PokeRogue, for a reason I'll explain later. But either way, we decided to catch it and release our Gigalith to make room. Except I'm stupid and I forgot I was doing an Ash Ketchum challenge. Wait. Dude, I just realized I got the Tinkaton. This isn't even... I forgot I'm playing a fucking Ash playthrough. Fuck. I have to release this thing. Shit. I don't even think Ash existed for the conception of Tinkaton in the anime, so, yeah, we released it and now we're down to 5 Pokemon instead of 6. Which was just in time for one of the major checkpoints, the rival battle at Wave 95. And I should probably mention, the rival shows up 6 times total, at Wave 8, 25, 55, 95, 145, and 195. These battles are often a type coverage check, which is why they will be particularly challenging, especially when my pool of available Pokemon is so limited. But that being said, we managed to scrape by this battle as soon as our Battle Bond Greninja came online.
Let's do this.
However, the following clash with our rival at round 145 wasn't exactly as salvageable, even with a Battle Bond Greninja. Our rival led with Incineroar, while we led with our half-health Pidgeot. Pidgeot U-turned into Pikachu, who, might I add, is holding a Light Ball, an Electric Terra Shard, and 2 Soul Dews, which each amplify the attributes of Pikachu's nature. Inexplicably, we opt to manually swap Pikachu into Talonflame despite the Pikachu knowing Volt Switch. Talonflame killed the Pelipper knockoff with a combo of Flare Blitz and Brave Bird, and attempted a third Kamikaze Flare Blitz versus Kilowattrel, but it didn't kill, resulting in Talonflame's untimely death. We threw in Muck instead of our Giga Chad Pikachu, and, well, our Muck ultimately ended up dying, in some poor tactics from yours truly, ended up getting our Greninja killed too, before even activating its Battle Bond ability. Why didn't I Extrasensory? I knew he was going to swap to this guy too. No. And at this point, we were down to 2.5 Pokemon, with Pikachu really being our only remaining threat. And let's just say our rival hadn't even shown his trump card yet. Yeah, we lost this battle, which brought attempt number 1 to an end. And sorry to be annoying, but if you're enjoying the video so far and want to see more of this type of content, make sure to subscribe. It massively helps the channel, and my dopamine receptors go absolutely fucking crazy when big important number goes up, giving me more motivation to make these kinds of videos. Okay, that's all. Carry on. This attempt, we put slightly more thought into who we picked for our starter Pokemon. Our first Pokemon is Krabby, and on paper, not that stellar of a Pokemon, outside of its high attack and defense stats. However, this is where things get weird. You see, one of the roguelike aspects of PokeRogue is the Egg Gacha system, where you can earn egg vouchers as battle rewards and reaching certain milestones in your runs. You can redeem these vouchers for eggs, and this is one of the best ways to collect a ton of Pokemon in PokeRogue. The added benefit of hatching Pokemon includes the chance of learning any of its 4 hidden egg moves, which basically gives your Pokemon an insanely overpowered move right at level 5. Hatched Pokemon also have a higher chance of being shiny, and shiny Pokemon are extremely valuable in this game. Outside of the aesthetic difference, they improve your luck stat, which alters the rarity and basically improves the quality of the rewards after beating a wave. So with that nonsense out of the way, the main reason we picked Krabby is because it's the only shiny Pokemon we've collected thus far that fits within our Ash Ketchum criteria. Oh, we have shiny Krabby. Wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. It also has 2 of its hidden egg moves, Liquidation and Ivy Cudgel, that are both incredibly strong within their own right. Just to put that into context, Krabby won't learn a stronger move than Liquidation until it learns Crab Hammer at level 54. For our next Pokemon, we decided to go with Lapras, since it's a strong, bulky Pokemon that would be able to carry us through the early game. Or at least that's what I thought. Wait, this Lapras blows. Yeah, I really thought that the Lapras would be hitting a lot harder. I'm not gonna lie. Thought this guy was gonna carry us through the early game. Nah, but all things considered, things were relatively easygoing in the beginning. We breezed past the first 2 rival battles until we encountered the construction site, which basically only contains electric, fighting, and rock type Pokemon, which, may I remind you, Lapras is a dual water and ice type Pokemon.
What the Sigma?
We ended up fighting Chuck, the fighting type gym leader, and you know, when you pour in all of your resources to the Pokemon that gets countered by this guy's whole team, things are bound to go a bit sour. Okay, we might just... And we're paralyzed. Fucking crazy, man. What the fuck? We're actually gonna lose, dude. And I'm How did... Okay, back to the drawing board. This time, we play with Pokemon with lots of resistances. That way we don't get completely screwed by unfavorable matchups. And, let's see, what typing has a lot of resistances? Dragon-type Pokemon. Dratini, get your ass in here. This guy even has the egg moves Dragon Hammer and Fire Lash for some crazy type coverage. Pair that with our Krabby and Pikachu, and, you know, I think we got ourselves a team here, boys. In fact, things couldn't have started any better. We managed to get Waterfall on Dratini in the very first round, and we even nabbed ourselves a Snorlax in the 20th round. Plus attack minus speed? Yes. We breezed past the rival battle on round 25, and then... Oh no. Not the fucking construction site again, man. What the fuck is that? Please, man. Please! Don't paralyze. Brick break. Come on, man. Are you serious?
Attempt.
Well, this is our last night together before the show, and I know that you haven't improved since we began.
Okay, so I got tired of losing at the construction site, so I assembled a well-balanced team of starter Pokemon that could handle Pokemon like this, or this. You know, the Pokemon who are in the construction site. So we went with Chimchar, Froakie, and Turtwig, the trifecta of water, fire, and grass. But each of these guys receive really good secondary typings once fully evolved. So we entered the gauntlet once again, did our normal thing, and surprise, surprise, like clockwork, we happened to run in the construction site again at wave 40. And look who decided to show their face again. Dude, not this thing again. You're actually kidding me. Luckily, our 500 IQ strategy panned out well, and we were able to take down the Archaludon with a combination of Torterra and Infernape. Actually, it was really just Torterra. Infernape made an appearance, but it was Torterra's Leech Seed that dealt the final blow. Moving on to the rival battle at wave 95, and we actually managed to play this battle damn near optimally. Well, we are, looks like we are stuck with the Pikachu here, up against our rivals, whatever Pokemon they have. Alright, boys. Oh, this is perfect. So, I mean, he's obviously going to swap out here, so I'm just going to use whatever is my non-electric type move, and then we're going to go with a Draining Kiss. That worked out perfectly. Holy fuck. Oh, Poke Nerd Gamer. We went on to sweep everyone else in this guy's team with electric type moves from Pikachu. Is this a sign of character growth? Well, let's wait and see. At wave 115, we're guaranteed to fight the evil team leader's boss, and in our case, it was Team Aqua's Archie this run. And let's just say, we got absolutely ravaged this fight. Both my Pokemon and my, moneymaker. And there was no respite either. We were broke. Like, can't afford anything kind of broke. And everyone on my team was basically dead. And, oh, what's this? A gym leader battle 5 rounds later? Yo, fuck this game, dude. Bruh. Okay, so this run, we went with Pikachu, Krabby, Dratini. I can't kill this thing. Alright, I got walled out, bro. I got walled out. Okay, so this run, we changed it up and we went with... Fuck, man. Dude, I don't even know, man. I got so tilted, I rage quit and started playing Pokedoku before ending the stream that day. But the following stream, we came back, refreshed, and I'm telling you, those losses really fucked my mental. But there was one thing about this run that gave me some extra motivation. Some of my loyal subscribers on YouTube may recall that in my previous video, where we beat a hardcore randomized Nuzlocke of Pokemon Omega Ruby, we happened to beat it on attempt number 7. And what attempt are we on in this challenge? I started testing and theory crafting off stream to assemble the best possible team from the start. Ultimately, PokeRogue is a game of sweep or get swept. So I basically assembled a team of glass cannons with insane sweeping potential. And this is our cast and crew. First up is Ghastly, who can evolve into Gengar, who's a fast special sweeper with an OP typing that can switch for free into normal or fighting type moves. And next, we have Tailo, with Guts and Facade, and this guy can do some massive fucking damage if he gets his hands on a Flame Orb, which is a held item that burns the holder. But Fred, burn is bad, it reduces the attack power of your Pokemon. No. Idiot. That's not how any of this works. Let's take Tailo's egg move, Facade, which is a 70 base power normal type move that doubles in strength if your Pokemon has a status condition. This actually ignores the side effect of burn that halves the attack of your Pokemon. Now let's combine this with the ability Guts, which also increases the attack power of a Pokemon by 50% when it's inflicted with a status condition. Now hold up, we're not done there. With Swellow being a normal and flying type Pokemon, it gains the 50% stab bonus when using Facade, bringing this move's base power up to a whopping 315. 315, man! That's like 2 Hyper Beams and some change, with hardly any drawback. Swellow is also one of the fastest Pokemon in the game, so it virtually outspeeds everything. So if this thing gets its hands on a Flame Orb, we'll have a bird-shaped bulldozer that's prepared to flatten anything in its path. Our next Pokemon was that shiny Krabby, whom we utilized to improve our luck, with the hope that it'll make finding the Flame Orb easier. And lastly, we have Mime Jr., because it's actually the only Fairy-type Pokemon that can be caught in this challenge. And Fairy-types are OP, man. Immune to Dragon, only weak to Poison and Steel, and Mr. Mime is also a Psychic-type Pokemon. He's fast as fuck, and yeah, just a solid Mon. Oh, and I guess I probably shouldn't have said that was the last Pokemon because we threw in a Hoot at the end there, who's really no slouch. Noctowl is a pretty tanky Pokemon with a decent moveset. Oh, and somehow the audio got screwed up, so I don't have any live audio from this run. That means we'll have to do some professional lip reading and fill in the important dialogue with some interpreted text-to-speech, like this.
Wow, I can't believe I made it through that totally poggers and epic sauce battle.
Alright, getting right into it, we speedran the early game with Krabby's OP moveset, basically using Liquidation on every single Pokemon, no matter what. We were fortunate enough to catch an Ivysaur on round 29, and then at round 35, we learned we'll be fighting Team Flare for the remainder of the run, which was... They just have a lot of Poison, Dark, and Fire-type Pokemon, which aren't exactly the easiest to deal with, given my team's composition. On the bright side, we got the earliest possible Gengar evolution at level 25, right after the Team Flare fight. And then, we caught a Noibat at wave 49, releasing Pidgeotto. Yeah, I think I glossed over that part, but whatever. At round 62, we got our Swellow burnt by fighting a Team Flare's Houndoom. And so, we got a little taste of what a Swellow with Guts and Facade can do. After round 67, we got the map as a reward, which allows us the chance to pick which biome we head to next after reaching a 10 level checkpoint. For the most part, we would opt to stay in easy biomes, like the forest, jungle, and temple, since we basically already had our full team, and we're just trying to ride the wave until the end. At wave 79, we found the Holy Grail.
Hooray.
We also encountered a double Mega Bracelet drop at round 107, and opted for the left one. And yes, it matters, you stupid baka. We swept Team Flare boss Lysandre with Swellow, except for his Mega Gyarados, but that was easily dealt with by Mr. Mime and Kingler. We picked up a Silk Scarf for Swellow at wave 135, increasing the strength of normal type moves, namely Swellow's Facade, by an additional 20%. We made it to round 145, the furthest we ever made it in the past, for our penultimate battle with our rival. We began the battle by immediately losing our Mr. Mime to Relicanth.
What the freaking heck, dude?
Good shit, Fred. And after a series of swapping Pokemon in and out, playing Ring Around the fucking Rosie, we finally registered a kill with our Noivern versus our rival's Electivire. Our Venusaur got head smashed by the Relicanth too, and I don't know why, but for some reason this Relicanth just walled out my entire team, and I don't know why. Anyway, our Gengar took it out with a Shadow Ball, then proceeded to sweep the rest of his team. Scratch that. Swellow proceeded to sweep the rest of his team. We moved on to round 165, where we fought Lysandre for the second and final time. And for some reason, this guy had a bunch of Ghost-type Pokemon, making it hard for my Swellow to easily cheese this fight. Fortunately, it was raining, so our Kingler was able to deal increased damage with Crabhammer against Lysandre's Goodra, before this guy switched into his Mega Gyarados, which we dispatched with 2 Ivy Cudgels. Kingler also one-shot the Fluttermane, which kinda just looks like a zesty Misdreavus to me, before dying to this guy's ace and legendary Pokemon, Yveltal. God, what the hell are these new Pokemon names? Anyway, after another series of swapping Pokemon in and out, our Venusaur dealt the killing blow to this guy's Aegislash, before Noivern executed his Pyroar and Goodra, although ultimately falling to the Yveltal. I'm not going to get used to these names. We swapped into Swellow and smacked it with a critical hit Facade, and some might say that that was lucky, but I say, nah, that was pretty lucky. But, I mean, we still had Mr. Mime to deal with it, so fuck off. We almost wiped to Roxy, the Poison-type gym leader, at wave 170. Due to a Swift Swim Quillfish one-shotting my Swellow.
What the Sigma?
However, we made it through with a combination of Kingler once again taking advantage of the rain, and Gengar / Mr. Mime doing their normal thing. Next, we took on the Elite Four in Champion, which was I'm not gonna lie, kind of a cakewalk with Swellow. The only one we couldn't breeze past with Swellow was Phoebe, the Ghost-type trainer, because, well, she's a Ghost-type trainer and Facade doesn't affect Ghost-type Pokemon, but anyway. Regardless, Gengar and Noivern dealt with their team while Swellow was able to chill on the sideline this time. Up until we had our destined battle with our rival at Wave 195. We led with Swellow and unsurprisingly, he immediately swapped into that goddamn Relicanth. We soaked up a head smash with Venusaur before he swapped into Mega Rayquaza, and Jesus Christ, that thing has like 15 health bars, man. Some swapping sequences ultimately led to Mega Rayquaza gouging our Kingler, so we swapped into Mr. Mime as the outrage continued. This ultimately allowed us to register a kill on his King Gambit with 2 Thunderbolts from Mr. Mime. We managed to get out a 3rd Thunderbolt against Relicanth, but it wasn't enough to take it out, resulting in the Mime guy's tragic downfall. Our Gengar also happened to know and use Thunderbolt, but the AI expected a Ghost-type move to come out, so it swapped to Noctowl, which ultimately ended up dying from 3 total Thunderbolts, plus 1 more to take out the Relicanth. Mega Rayquaza came out again and flattened Gengar by locking itself into another outrage. We took out one of its health bars with Swellow's Facade, but our Bird Boy couldn't survive more than 1 hit, which forced us to end Rayquaza with a Dragon Pulse from Noivern. And thank God this Pokemon is an absolute speed demon. He sent out Electivire, so we swapped into Venusaur, our special tank who survived by the hair on his chinny chin chin. Somehow, our Venusaur outsped and killed the Electivire with an Earthquake. His last Pokemon was Terrestrialized Serperior. It outsped and Giga Drained Venusaur, leaving the fate of this battle down to a 1v1 between this snake-looking thing and Noivern. 1 Hurricane wasn't enough to completely kill the Serperior, but neither was a hit from Clanging Skills to kill our Noivern. And at the end of the day, we had to put it all down to a roll of the dice. Does Hurricane, a move with a 30% chance to miss, land against our rival Serperior to keep this run alive? Or will we go home, with our faces in our hands, never to grace our delicate fingers to pilot a band of cutesy Japanese monster things again?
Wowie wow, holy smackers, that was a close one.
That was huge! We made it past the last trainer battle in this challenge, and all that remained was the fight with the final boss, Eternatus. But before that, this happened. That's right. Our once pathetic, loser, incapable Venusaur is now a Mega Venusaur. This basically gave our boy here a 20% increase to his base attack, defense, special attack, and special defense. So truly, there was no excuse to not beat Eternatus right here, right now. We went into this fight leading with our trusty Swellow. He managed to eat a whole ass Eternabeam before triggering the second phase of this fight after using 2 Facades. However, Eternatus' Black Hole ability stole Swellow's Flame Orb, which was a 1 in 6 chance to happen, granting Eternatus a burn and having its physical attack power. Mega Venusaur got pulled out alongside Swellow, and look at just how little a Flamethrower from Eternatus does to Mega Venusaur. Swellow died to its burn after getting in 1 last Facade, so we brought out Mr. Mime, and he got chopped up immediately, while Venusaur put in a little bit more chip damage. Noivern came out, and from here it was a series of Dragon Pulses and Earthquakes, until the big poisonous dragon structure came crashing down. I mean, seriously though, is that thing even a Pokemon? But anyway, woohoo! We won!
Hip hip, hooray.
And it was on lucky number attempt 7, no less. Yep. Lucky number attempt 7. Definitely didn't completely omit and cut out an attempt where we got to round 196 and then lost the run because I used a Shadow Ball on a normal type Pokemon. You're shitting me. That's how I lost? Yep. So really the main takeaway here is don't believe everything you see on the internet. Okay? Alright. Go fuck yourself. Goodbye.